I Love Lucy is the mother of all sitcoms, right? Well, before Lucy and Ricky ever shared a couch, there was Mama. And wait until you see the big 70s star that came out of the show. Here's the cast photo. Recognize anyone? Oh, I'll let you know. Mama was a live, half-hour glimpse into a Norwegian family that aired from 1949 to 1957. It was above the 42nd Street waiting room in Grand Central's terminal on CBS Studio 41. Yeah, that means while commuters caught their trains, millions of Americans started tuning in weekly to Marta Hansen's kitchen disasters and heartwarming wisdom, making Mama arguably television's first true sitcom trailblazer. Mama wasn't just another show, it was the first comedy drama to carve out a regular spot in living rooms across the nation. Based on Catherine Forbes' novel called Mama's Bank Account, it introduced audiences to the Hansen family. No, not them. Nor them. Anyway, the show set the template for every family sitcom that followed. See, television in 1949 was a novelty. Only about 4 million sets existed in the whole U.S. Right now, there's that many on the showroom floor at Walmart alone. Networks were scrambling to prove TV could rival radio and movie theaters. Mama, though, still had to find an audience. It faced stiff competition from variety programs, newsreels, and stage adaptations. Yet it stood out by mixing gentle humor with real-life struggles, holding a top 30 Nielsen rating from 1950 to 1954 despite its crowded schedule and fickle sponsors. At its heart, Mama revolved around Marta "Mama" Hansen, played by Peggy Wood, and her family in 1910 San Francisco. Through the eyes of her eldest daughter, Katrin, each episode began with an album flip and the lines, "This old album makes me remember so many things in the past."
I remember San Francisco and the house where I was born. I remember these pictures and those times more clearly than the things that happened to me yesterday. And I remember my family as we were then. My little sister Dagmar, my big brother Nell, and of course, Papa. But most of all, when I think back to those days so long ago, most of all, I remember Mama.
It was a clever framing device that felt personal and cinematic long before TV directors were rolling film. We met Papa, the resourceful breadwinner. Then there was the big brother, Nels, played by, very young Dick Van Patten.
Mama, Papa, when do we eat? I'm really starving to death. Everybody's at the table.
Private Hansen, you will just have to wait a little while. When the captain is ready, we eat.
And little Dagmar, whose innocence provided natural comic relief. Themes of fitting in, thrift, and family loyalty resonated during post-war America's growth spurt. The show's defining moment came in the spring of 1956 when CBS announced cancellation despite solid ratings. Viewers stormed the network with letters, an unprecedented outcry that forced a brief revival in the tougher Sunday slot. And it wasn't just fan mail, it was proof that television had birthed its first true fandom, one that believed in Mama's Kitchen enough to shake the network's front doors.
They are calling you. All right.
Sorry, Phil. Joan of Arc was making so much noise I couldn't hear you. What? Well, if you're sure you can't make it tomorrow night. I know. I should have told you before, but it happens every year, and it's called a Sells Cap.
I certainly don't see much point in it anymore.
Sells Cap. That means anniversary in Norwegian, and we have this party every May 19th because that's the day the family sailed from Norway.
Mama's blend of homespun humor, serialized storytelling, and live performance laid the groundwork for I Love Lucy, The Brady Bunch, and every family sitcom in between. Its legacy lives on whenever a show uses flashbacks, voiceover narration, or the simple joy of watching ordinary people become TV legends.
Well, I'll tell you. Some of them are studying to be nitwits, and the others are just plain stupid.
I wish you'd stop trying to be funny. I would really like to know what it's like. Yes, and Mills, why didn't you get a better-looking uniform? Don't they even try to fit you?
I'll tell you how they do it, Dagmar. The supply officer rolls them up into a ball, and he throws them. If it hits you, it's your uniform.
Very funny.
So wait, you're saying I Love Lucy is a legendary sitcom with merchandising and enduring fans, and it's shown over and over again, yet we never see one episode of Mama. Why? Well, remember, they performed the show live. Yep, almost all the episodes were broadcast live and were never recorded. Ouch. Now, when it returned for a short run at the end of its broadcast in 1956, yes, some episodes were filmed, but not enough were made to create a viable syndication package. It just kind of went away. Are you familiar with the show? Have you ever heard of it? What's your favorite mama moment? Papa's ledger balancing or Katrin's kitchen catastrophes? Drop it in the comments below. Hit like if you learned something new. And check out my video on the worst episode ever of I Love Lucy. And by the way, I'm recording this. Yeah, I'm good for reruns.